Hello, I'm NicolaHay. Sorry I can't be there today to hear about everybody's work. It's always a stimulating and enriching event, and I'm sad I'm missing it. I'm here as an artist, illustrator and educator and dabbler in new technologies. I want to talk about creating visual experiences which illustrate the effects of human animals upon the lives of non-human animals. I'm going to be showing 3 practice-based projects, 2 of which position the human in some climate emergency scenarios caused by the damaging effects of human behaviour upon animals, plants and the environment. It's common to say that seeing is believing, and to some extent this is true. But this Chinese proverb, tell me and I'll forget, show me and I may remember, involve me and I'll understand, begins to describe the effect of multisensory experience and its effect upon engagement and learning. My question is, if seeing is believing, could seeing, hearing, experiencing enhance believing and understanding? And does it help to foster empathy within humans for our non-human planet mates? With destruction of natural habitats due in part to urbanisation, fewer and fewer flora and fauna and varieties exist. Each generation then understands that as the norm. There are these 3 projects that I want to show you address this in different ways. The first is called iMarsh, which is Illustrated Menagerie Augmented Reality Scavenger Hunt. I talked about it at last year's Research and Innovation Conference. And it was an exhibition of augmented reality illustrated animals. The second project is Plastic Experiences from 2023, and this engages individuals with illustrated environments depicting the effects of plastic waste. And the third one is 80 Years of Insect Biodiversity, which is a booklet depicting insect diversity and populations from 1970 to 2050. All these projects use augmented or extended reality to engage and involve the audience. Living in a city in which animal life is largely sidelined in favour of humans, I began working with undergraduate artists to produce animal-themed illustrations. This project brought the animals out into the city as an AR exhibition, staged as a scavenger hunt. It also brought people out to the animals and the parks, and the augmented reality and hunt aspects encouraged engagement with the themes. It took place as part of We Shine Festival of Art and Light. I then produced a book documenting the exhibition, the artworks and the augmented digital content, and the book's available online using this QR code on screen. I wrote a summary of the exhibition in the book and went on to write a review article introducing the project and discussing the potential of illustration and technology to engage and bridge the gap between art, technology and environmental awareness. And this was published in the Journal of Illustration earlier this year. The university's Revolution Plastics Institute invited me to create extended reality experiences for an upcoming event they were to host, Plastics Futures 2023. I was asked to create interactive experiences conveying 3 forms of plastic pollution: on land, in the ocean, and in the air as microplastics. This example is for Plastics on Land, which brings the artwork out into the space the viewer is moving in after scanning a QR code. And with the addition of interactive behaviours allows the viewer agency over their experience. They're able to move elements, make them disappear, make a sound play or an animation start, for example. This agency for the viewer, coupled with the imaginative and playful superimposition of imagery within the viewer's space, is the area I'm developing prototype works for. I'm working deliberately, comparatively low tech currently as I explore the potential of what can be done. And I'm also mindful that elaborate viewing equipment isn't really broadly available. But most people have a smartphone, and the majority of these will be able to be used to view both the AR experiences and the XR ones. And here again are the Plastic Experience discs, which also formed part of Revolution Plastics outreach for the recent Isle of Wight Biosphere Festival. I also produced a booklet which explores or tries to convey levels of biodiversity and numbers of insects in 3 different key points in time: 1970, and again in 2020, and then prospectively in 2050. The booklet was developed in response to a call for papers, a conference call for a conference about the Anthropocene and the effects of humans upon non-human animals. So the booklet that I produced was to kind of demonstrate some of this thinking and also to test out the ideas. QR codes within the booklet linked to prototype insect XR experiences, which involve movement, imagery, 3-dimensional kind of space, and sound, which is directional for the viewer. So if they're wearing headsets, the sound is a very important part of the experience. It is a prototype piece, so it is in development, and there are many things that I would kind of do to develop it further, given a little bit more time. But it's just to show it at this point, I think is I really appreciate to hear what people think about it, actually. It draws on my own illustrative responses to the facts and accounts I'm reading about to do with biodiversity and the environment, and in attempts to illustrate something of the phenomenon. Coming back to a quote which I showed earlier but didn't talk about, David Attenborough has said, "No one will protect what they don't care about, and no one will care about what they never experience." If each generation experiences a decreasing number and variety of flora and fauna, those norms are what will be protected. So I'm really trying to illustrate the prevalence of insect life as an extended reality experience the viewer can embody, connecting people and nature. I'm also, in contrast, illustrating the statistical drop in both numbers and species evident in gardens, fields, roadsides, countrysides. If we could time travel to each time depicted, what insects would we see? Hear what diversity of insects and environment. So the XR experiences aim to position the viewer to experience the sights, sounds of the different times, and soon the ability to affect insect life, albeit only virtually, through these experiences. What happens if you apply insecticide to your roses, or maintain consumer habits which are disastrous for habitats, for wildlife? Will involving us a bit more help us make us more aware, to care a bit more, and to think again? What effect, in fact, could positioning each little person into an experience of a prospective future have? I hope that some of what I've shown is of interest and of value when thinking particularly about positionality, through taking an opportunity to present an intergenerational experience, illustrating the varying norms each generation experiences. I'd love to know what people think about that, so please do feel free to get in touch with me. Thanks very much.